Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis.
Good morning.
This is Paul Harris calling from WCXR in Washington, D.C. How are you this morning?
Very well, sir.
I'm glad to hear it. I'll tell you the reason we're calling. We were playing the Munsters theme on our show the other morning, and after I did it, I got several calls from people who said, hey, did you know that Al Lewis has a restaurant in New York called Grandpa's?
See that? It's a case of the listeners knowing more than the man running the broadcast.
Well, that's not the first time, I'd like to point out. In fact,
well, let me tell you something. On behalf of the owners of the station, let it be the last time.
All right, we'll never let it happen again. So tell me about your restaurant.
There's nothing to tell you except the fact that I've had it for 17 months.
Uh-huh.
It's called Grandpa's, and it is, without question, in the words of the tens of thousands who have been there, it's the best Italian food in New York City, which is quite an accomplishment since New York probably has about 2,000 Italian restaurants.
Yeah, that would put you, I mean, when you're at the top of that heap, that's a pretty big heap.
It is. It is.
Well, congratulations on all the success.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I want to congratulate you also on a great role in Married to the Mob. I just saw this movie the other day.
I had a lot of fun doing that. And I don't know if you've caught, or any of your listeners have caught, the video I did on that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, with Blondie, Debbie Harry.
Really?
Yes. Funny video. And I'm not a critic. I don't watch that much video, but I happen to see it. And it's a funny video.
You know, it's funny. While we're talking to you, I can tell you're in New York because we hear sirens and horns and things going off in the background.
Yeah. And it's not on tape either. It's actually people getting run down and hit.
You love New York, don't you, Al?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're here, you can't go around hating it. You know what I mean?
That's for sure. Do you spend most of your...
You hear it? There's the siren. See, now, we don't know if he's alive, getting ready to die, or he's already died and they're headed toward the other building.
Yeah. Or
the exciting thing here.
That could, you know, in Washington, that's usually a member of the Barry administration being hauled off to jail.
That's true. That's true. Although, let me tell you something. I doubt if they'll match the number of the Ed Koch administration.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. They've had to build a special addition to the prison downtown so that friends could get together for lunch occasionally. Oh, boy. Oh, well, but let's face it. I mean, pirates have been around for a long time.
They sure have.
You know, if you live long enough, you realize that Captain Kidd wasn't the last pirate.
Do you ever get any of these people coming into your restaurant?
Yes, I do. I've had a few last suppers.
Now, wait a second. You're not telling me this restaurant has bullet holes in the wall, are you, Al?
No, it doesn't. No. I'm talking about the guys that come in, have their last supper, and then are trudged off to jail for embezzling.
Yeah. All right. Let me just turn back to the Munsters here for a second because this is where we started. And can you update us on what the other people from the Munsters are doing? We hear Fred Gwynn on commercials all the time.
Oh, good Lord. He's the king of the voiceovers. Freddie right now is up in Maine doing a movie.
Uh-huh.
Butch Patrick, who was Eddie Munster, is alive and well and lives in Austin, Texas.
Now, wasn't there a rumor that he died and got, or some terrible rumor was being spread?
Forgot to me.
Yeah.
No, the person who most often is thought of as being dead, of course, is not, because they confuse Yvonne DiCarlo with Jones, Carolyn Jones. Carolyn
Jones, who was on the Addams Family.
Who did pass away.
But Yvonne DiCarlo is still doing well.
Alive and well. I saw her about 3 weeks ago. I was at the video convention in Las Vegas, and I saw Yvonne DiCarlo.
And what is she doing?
She did a video, and she was promoting it. She did a video called American Gothic.
Uh-huh.
A good trivia question is there were two young ladies who played Marilyn.
Marilyn, of course. Well, I know Pat Priest, who she grew up to be Marilyn Quayle, didn't she?
No. Looks like it, but no. Now, everyone knows, of course, the last one. Nobody knows the first one. There were two of them.
Oh, who was the other one?
Beverly Owen.
Beverly Owen.
O-W-E-N.
This is a great piece of trivia. And what are those two ladies doing now?
Alive and well. Beverly lives in New York City. Is alive and well. Raised two daughters. I think they're both at this point in college. Pat Priest, sons are older, lives in Sun Valley, Idaho, and in L.A. Good trivia question is, Pat Priest's mother was the lady who signed all the bills, the dollar bills. They're in the Eisenhower administration, Treasurer of the United States.
I didn't know that.
Ivy Baker Priest.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. Her mother was appointed by Eisenhower as Treasurer of the United States. I met Ivy Baker Priest, who has since passed on.
Yeah.
But they're well. Pat Priest and Butch Patrick, that is Marilyn and Eddie Munster, respectively. I do a show for Ted Turner called Super Scary Saturday.
Right.
And I did a Munster retrospective best of hour and a half thing, and I had them both join me, both Pat Priest and Butch Patrick.
Now, isn't Ted Turner involved in some sort of new Munsters program?
No. The new Munsters program is a syndicated, which should be on fairly soon, 2, 3, 4 weeks. A syndicated show comes out of a studio, a very small studio in Hollywood.
And do you have anything to do with it?
Neither I or anyone else from the original cast does.
Do you want to have anything to do with it?
Not really. Not really. I mean, let's face it. I mean, she wasn't bad, that girl you used to go with in high school, but you wouldn't want to go back. I mean, come on, be honest, would you? No, I mean, I wish them all the luck in the world. I really do, and I hope that they are as successful with their show as we were with ours. Most people don't realize that I last did that 23 years ago.
I know.
And it has never gone out of syndication. It is running all over the world today. And, hey, I hope they are as successful, but I did it, and I'm on to other things.
Yeah, but you still call your restaurant Grandpa's.
Oh, because there's no place in the world that I can go that nobody doesn't yell at me, Grandpa. I mean, Japan, Mexico, Switzerland, Norway, Malta, South American countries. It's playing today.
Yeah, you know, when I went to see Married to the Mob the other night, as soon as your face comes on, people go, hey, hey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's all over the country. I mean, it's, you know, I'm probably more recognizable than the Indian on the Buffalo nickel. But quite a similarity. Have you noticed that?
Yes, as a matter of fact, the faces are very similar.
Isn't that something? I give you another trivia. That was my grandfather.
Okay.
Right.
That was your grandfather on the Buffalo nickel.
Indian, yeah. Now you go out and prove that it wasn't.
So Al, besides the restaurant and doing this thing for Ted Turner, and by the way, has he colorized you yet?
No, but there are rumors. Rumors in the sense that I asked that question. I go down to Atlanta to do my show, Super Scary Saturday. So I've gotten to know, I've seen Ted a number of times. He visited, and I say, hello, Mr. Turner, and he says, hello, Mr. Lewis, and that's the extent of our socialization. But I know Bob Levy, the president of entertainment for TBS, and some other people. I think they bought the rights to run the Munsters. I'm not sure if it's 90 or 91 or 2. But then there was talk in the sales force that they might want to color it. Because, it's funny how no matter how long you stay in the business, and I've been in the business since 1922, and so don't get out your calculators, kids. It's 66 years.
So that makes you 67 now.
Oh, it makes me 78.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, I like that reading of wow. That's exactly the same reading that little girl gave me at the hotel last night.
So, you're talking about colorizing.
Colorizing, without getting into the discussion, which of course has been madly going on between directors and Woody Allen and others, that it's a desecration of the original art form and blah, blah, blah. I've seen the demographics. When they color a film and they show it, they get twice the audience.
Yeah.
And they know that this is the low man on a totem pole colorization method. There are two other methods that I've seen segments of, but they are so highly expensive. It would cost something like $300,000 to $400,000 to do a picture, but they are marvelous. But they're very expensive. The technique. So they use low man on a totem pole, you know, where everybody looks like everybody else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the appeal, audience-wise, is 2 to 1.
Yeah.
I've seen the ratings.
Would you mind personally, having done the work, to see it colorized now?
No, it wouldn't bother me least. If they asked me my opinion, I would say it would lose something. But they would simply say, well, you may be right, but if it gains an audience, kindly don't slam the door when you leave.
Hey, you know, you mentioned the Munsters being in reruns for like 23 years now. Have you ever seen any of the foreign versions of it where other actors have to be you?
Well, I have another trivia item for you. I've never seen the Munsters.
You've never seen the Munsters?
Never seen. I've been fortunate enough to do 3 series, starting with the great Phil Silvers, and You'll Never Get Rich, but most often referred to as the Bilko Show.
Sergeant Bilko, sure.
R-54, Where Are You?
Uh-huh.
Munsters, and about 300 and some odd roles. I've never seen any of them.
Now, why is that?
I wish I could think up a humorous, philosophical answer. I just don't have one. I'm not interested.
Or is it that you just don't have a TV, Al?
For a long time, I didn't. Matter of fact, I didn't have a TV until the P&G people, Procter & Gamble, who were the sole sponsors of Car 54, sent me one on Christmas time. I still didn't watch, but I don't watch TV. I watch very, very little TV.
Do you have electricity, Al?
Depends on how fast I rub my hands together.